Hello everyone, hope you're doing well. Today, we're going to be talking about classified leaks once again, because it's once again hit the mainstream. This time in Thailand, weirdly enough. Now, Thailand has, of course, their standard news channels. One of them is Thai PBS, and basically, they have a YouTube channel. It's like a lot of kind of like modern day official news channels where they have a ridiculous amount of subscribers, but basically no views on their videos compared to the subscribers, because of the simple fact that they're usually pushed by recommended feeds in specific countries, such as Thailand. And what has ended up happening is they've done a video talking about War Thunder, and not really anything about the game. It's all about the classified leaks. Now, maybe they're running this story because it might be one of the hot button topics right now, because of the fact that you have the conflict between Cambodia and Thailand, and they want to try and talk about things that are going on in the internet space. Maybe it's something to do with the fact that there is a lot of companies and also a lot of news outlets right now pushing a metric ton of censorship, and this could be part of it to try and get other parts censored in certain areas. For some reason, like over the last few weeks, there's been a domino effect going on where Steam has removed a bunch of games, itch.io removed a bunch of games. Obviously, you have the UK censorship laws that are coming in when it comes to the ID stuff. And then also, there are other parts of the world which are ramping up this as well. And it's leading people to have some very interesting thoughts in terms of what anonymity online should look like. Now, when it comes to this specific video from Thai PBS, my guess is this is just more of a tie-in when it comes to the military conflict that's going on, but also at the same time, everything else that is happening in the world. Obviously, hot button topics are something that's always covered in news, and even though there's nothing that's been leaked in a classified way for a while, and by a while I mean like a month or so, basically it looks like that's what they're kind of focusing on. There was a interesting thread the other day talking about a missile. I think it was the AM3 or the AM4 from Japan. Basically, somebody had posted the F4 and a part of an F4EJ flight manual about the missile, and it was quickly deleted by the moderators on the War Thunder forum. But then I had a look at their comments on it, because it wasn't like a proper moderator, it was just a suggestion moderator, and they were just saying, well, I'm not sure if it's, public or not. Well, you might want to check first before just, silencing people. Might be an idea to actually do that, but who knows at the end of the day. Maybe it's just better to smash people on the heads nowadays. So in this video, they go over some of the more recent controversies over the Harrier leaks, which, as we've talked about, the Harrier one is interesting because it's one of those where basically the actual thing that was quote-unquote leaked on the War Thunder forums is available publicly online. Whether it should be or not, by the way, it shouldn't be available online, but it is. But it's just interesting how now War Thunder is becoming the catch-all place where stuff is quote-unquote leaked when it comes to the online space, which is surprising because the majority of stuff that people are actually quote-unquote leaking is already available online to the public. It just shouldn't be. Does that make sense? Where you have a lot of stuff which is restricted, whether it's export restricted or whether it's restricted in other ways, but for some reason this stuff is just getting posted online willy-nilly, whether it's on Discords, whether it's on literal websites in PDF form, and for some reason nothing is being done about it. And that to me is always more the disconcerting figure. I don't think the issue is that this stuff is getting posted on the War Thunder forums. I think the issue is that the War Thunder forums is becoming the center of this controversy when that isn't actually the problem. The problem is these governments and also these sets of people have a lot of leaky pipes, and the internet is one of those places where people just do not read rules, they do not read TOSs, they do not read EULAs, and they definitely don't read laws when it comes to other countries. So people just post stuff everywhere, even if they're not supposed to, because there is so much of a rapid flow of information, it's kind of all over the place. But as I said previously when talking about these topics, when kind of the big boy media outlets are going to talk about this, they're going to talk about it in terms of War Thunder, because that is the thing to kind of attach it to. Whether there is an agenda to, as I said, push censorship, or whether there is an agenda because it's a foreign entity, or because it's a video game. And I don't know if you've kept up with kind of the large media outlets. I remember the BBC every like 6 months would run an article about how video games are killing the youth, and how, you know, basically it's leading them to become mass murderers, or leading them to become alcoholics or antisocial cretins, and all of this ridiculous stuff that used to be printed, especially in the late 90s, early 2000s, and even continuing today in certain aspects when it comes to social activism and then just general stupid sociological thought. So basically, like, this is not really a surprise if this is another push for video game bad, you know, needs control, especially military game, because, you know, oh, it's about fighting. I still remember back in the day when Counter-Strike tried to go mainstream with some of their esports stuff, and what ended up happening is they had to fundamentally change the game because they didn't think that audiences, or the general audience, would be okay with terrorists fighting counter-terrorists. So they had to make it red versus blue, or, you know, black versus white, whatever it was. Even though you have literally every day millions of shows about serial murderers and also rapists, and documentaries about these things consistently, which are some of the most watched stuff across the board. And also reality TV show, which warps people's minds in terms of what humans are and what they are actually like. But all of that stuff is fine. But, you know, the video game over here where you go shooty, shooty, bang, bang, and let off some steam, that's the problem, not everything else. So yeah, I have quite a discontent when it comes to this standard media set of outlets, and this video is no different. Basically, what you have in this video is a very poorly edited kind of setup, and talking about some of the leaks that happened and their effect in terms of kind of what's going on. The video itself is so poorly edited, they actually leave in a bunch of audio from the War Thunder videos that they nick from the War Thunder official channel. And basically, this is the official kind of, you know, this is one of the official news hubs of Thailand. It's just wild that that is the case. But that's where we are when it comes to 2025. It's much better just to try and spread fire than it is do anything else. And hopefully, in the future, stuff like this doesn't get as much recognition as it did previously, so we can have a much better time, and to be honest, just enjoy our video games. As always, I hope you have a wonderful day, and I'll see you next time. I'd just like to thank GMG Smiley, CD Beans, Chieftain Mike, EMN3 Galaxy, Tulio Pontecorvo, Brendan Quinn, Carrion Crow, Gus Irenicus, Pyman, Wartinder, Teddy, Daniel Stanton, Martinez, B. Young, Ozzy Panzer, Alan Hacker, Liam Shear, Opium Prime, Lafouche, Sem, Aslan, Uncle Bean, and Derek R. for supporting the channel.